Get my other guy. All right, guys, welcome to Results Driven by RW. Of course, I am RW. I got many are tuning in from multiple social media outlets. So as I'm looking down, it's not that I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to them and talking to you at the same time. And we're working on getting it all connected. But the good news is we're all here, all looking for the same thing, which is an opportunity to get better in business and life and become what we know we can do. All right. I'm excited about all you guys that are on tonight. I hope that we can dive into all of this tonight. Might have to make this a two-parter because I think it's going to get a little intense in the aspect of really realizing how we can grow. I think the one thing that messes us up is what we already know, allowing us to get more information, because we get so stuck on what we know already that it's hard to shift from what we have now made truth, which maybe might have been true, but now is no longer true for where we're at in the situation and the point in our life. Because I don't know about you, but there's a lot of stuff that I thought was true until I got older. Then I found out that was a lie. But we couldn't find out until we got to that point where we were mature enough to understand what was going on. So on tonight, I'm gonna jump right on in. A little housekeeping, guys. Number one, I want you, of course, take some notes. I want you to get some stuff. I'm gonna drop some bombshells, some nuggets on tonight that'll help you shift a little bit. Number two, if you can, and you're a good place, I'd love to see your smiling face. If not, I do understand I'm dealing with professionals and business people, so you're moving and grooving. And some of you are gonna catch me a little later, some of you are catching me now. But if you can, I would love for you to ask questions or make comments in the chat. And so if you would open up my chat, I need your name and your business, or your name and what you do or looking to do, because within this network, we have so many pieces to the puzzle. It'd be great to get you connected to the right people at the right time. Also want to ask, if you would, I'm going to go through a little bit of a monologue, and then we're going to jump into some dialogue. I found out really it's good to have someone talk to you, but for me, it's better to know that you understood what was said, because you know what, we can say a whole lot of stuff, but it's almost like words. I can say one word, and for me, it means one thing, and for you, it means something else. So I believe it's important that when we come together, we do have some dialogue to make sure we go through the information that we've received, okay? So let's go real quick. I do like to do this part, which is this week's wins. I want to hear something good that happened to you this week, because I'm dealing with a bunch of overachievers. You focus more on what you didn't do than what you do. You can just nod your head and say you're talking to me, because a lot of times we always accentuate what we messed up, what we blew, what we didn't complete, but we don't look at what we did complete, or what we did accomplish. So real quick, I want to give you an opportunity to do that. I don't care how small it is. And here's the reason why it's important for this, because those little wins build momentum to the bigger wins. But a lot of times we don't want to celebrate the small wins, so we don't build the momentum. So when things do happen, it doesn't throw you off track as much as if you built some momentum into good things. So real quick, let me open up my chat. I open up my chat, and I'm opening up I want you to unmute your stuff here, and I want to hear at least 2 good hot weeks wins. I don't care what they were. It can be personal, business, or health-wise. Let me know something good that happened to you this week. Okay. All right, come on with it.
I completed the Spartan race.
Let's go. There we go.
Excellent. My ride or die. I appreciate you, girl. We all made it, barely made it. I got a little bloodied and bruised, but yeah, I'm with you on that one. That was a major accomplishment. Good job. Good. Now, was that your stretch for the year?
Yes, it was. Yes.
Okay. Good. I talked about this, guys, that we got to get something that's going to stretch us beyond ourselves. And I know for me, between the half marathon, the Spartan 10K, I've already been stretched twice. But I want you, if you have not done this, get something that's going to stretch you to the point to where you don't think you can complete it. Only reason being, because if you don't stretch yourself, how do you know how far you can go? There were so many obstacles on that thing that I didn't think I could do until I did them. And I think that's important in life, to get some things in front of you that are bigger than you that you want to go after to knock down before the end of the year, be it physical, mental, or spiritual, whatever that would be for you. Just make it work to where it works for you. All right, Deshaun, I think you had a win too, man. What you got? Go ahead and share with us.
I was going to piggyback off of her. You know what I'm saying? I was finished that same race with y'all. It was definitely definitely putting in that work, man. A whole 6.4 miles. Most I ever ran in one time. For real.
Well, it was crazy. I appreciate y'all riding with me, man. It's crazy because I have these crazy ideas and these people are like, yeah, let's go. So appreciate y'all. Now, the same thing didn't happen with my half marathon, but anyway, I'll come back to that.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you
Some people
handle
like
that one,
Dr.
big
King.
out.
I'm not going on mute. But good job, man. Good job. Excited for you. All right, let's get one more, guys. One more good hot win. What you got? Dr. K she ready to share, man. I see it, man. She ready to share. I saw it.
All right, listen, this might not be a win for others, but it is a win for me. I got my mojo back.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, I'm ready to hit the ground running again. That's a huge win for me. I'm excited about that.
Well, that is exciting for me. I tell you what, the one thing is, guys, and this is really a good interlude into what we're talking about tonight, because we're talking about that cycle of change and how we, if not careful, we'll go, and then something happens and then we have to shift, and it's one of those processes, but we're going to kind of dive into a few of those tonight, and I think it's going to help. But that's, to me, to be able to say that and know that is huge, because I've been sick, you've been sick, we've been sick, but man, ain't nothing like feeling like I got myself, I feel like me again. So I'm excited about that for you. Absolutely, absolutely. Also, guys, on a somber note, Dominique, one of our great, one of my mentees, she lost her father on yesterday.
Whoa.
You guys would do me a favor, keep her in prayer, keep her lifted up. You know, we are a community of believers, and we're a community of business people, and we're a community of people of faith. And so with that being said, please keep her in your prayers, her family. Her father passed on last night. I spoke with her, and just, of course, our prayers go out to that family on a somber note, but just knowing, because we're part of a community, when one hurt, we all hurt. All right. So just keep her lifted up, guys. I greatly appreciate that. Special offer. All right, guys, if you don't know, now you know. I am officially an author, and I would like to thank Miss Delshana Moore. She put me on the map. This girl put me on fire, got me excited. I knew that I wanted to write a book. I just didn't know when, I didn't know how, but this young lady within a few weeks put me on like never before. And I was able to write my first book. Notice I said my first ebook. I've got another one I'm working on. And by the end of the year, I'm going to have a total of 3. Only because when you get good people around you, it makes a big difference. So that ebook out is Zero to New Business in 30 Days. And this is by your own special person here. And right now it's actually out there for $29.99, but for my peoples, I reduced the price to $19.99. You can pick that up. You can Cash App me or Zelle, and I'll send you that link for the book. But it's great for someone starting out because it lists everything they would need in order to get themselves started off the ground and running. I wish somebody would have had this for me when I got started. It would have stopped me from having to bump my head and find out a bunch of stuff. So while I got her on here, Delshana, are you still extending the offer, or you decide to let it go? I know it's a stretch. I know it's a stretch. I know people have been harassing me. I know you're busy, but I don't know. Can you extend your gracious offer to help people write their ebook? But you don't have to. No pressure here from me. No pressure. No pressure.
Well, looky here. I am Delshana Moore, and I am here to tell you that I am part of this community. This community has helped me, has encouraged me, has inspired me, and motivated me. There's no reason why I wouldn't want to be present and be there for you all as well. So yeah, there was a deadline set. You got to practice that. When you have a good coach, you practice what your coach teaches you. All right. And so, yes, he forced me to come up with a deadline. I did come up with a deadline, but with the compassion and the love that I have for the results driven by RW community, of course, for the family, that price is extended.
Wonderful.
That price is extended. So let me tell you how this is going to work. You got to call me. You got to text me. You got to say, Delshana, I'm trying, I'm working, blah, blah, blah. Let's sit down, have that conversation and put a plan together. So we have some expectations from me, and I have expectations from you as well. That's all I'm asking, is that we connect and make that happen. All right. So yes, the price is extended. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'll give y'all till, I'm going to say it. You ready? You ready? April 15th.
April 15th, tax time. You heard it from her. I'm going to
April
repost it on my site and let everybody know. Because I tell you what, I know that you've been busy. I know just even when we did the first initial launch, I think right away you walked away. I think it was 3 people right away, I believe, that signed up. And so I know you're already working on those. I want to get some more. I know you got more since then. But guys, the special price, if you don't know, is $675. That's the special price that Delshana is offering for the RW group. Her price was much higher, almost double, but for us, she's made it a way for us to do this. And I'm taking full advantage. And so hence, like I said, that's why I've lined up my eBooks and now getting excited about launching them and hopefully showing you guys how to put things in motion. Even with Delshana, as we worked on this, I said, Delshana, I said, look, I know you do the book thing, but how about the ebook? Let's shorten it, bring it together, and make it happen. Because I couldn't see the whole book. I mean, people like Dr. Kathy, I mean, you out there writing novels and stuff, but people like me, I ain't that smart. So I needed something like this. Matter of fact, my first book might be 100 pages. But anyway, I'm working on it as we speak. And so by the end of the year, I'm planning on getting that out. But guys, I am so elated. To me, this book is outlasting me. Nothing like it. I'm going to move on. But just so you know, thank you, Delshana Moore. I appreciate you. If it were not for you, I would not have been able to do this by myself. And that's the power of teamwork and being a good network. So anyway, I'm gonna let it go, but thank you. Thank you. You changed my life. You changed my life by showing me, even as a coach, how to work with coaches and be coached. It's a great thing, guys. All right. With that, tonight's topic, I'm gonna jump into it. I know our time is a little spent. Stages of change. This is important. Many of you guys have heard this before, so don't turn me out. Only because what we've heard before is good, but sometimes it depends on who you hear it from. So you've heard it before, but you haven't heard it from me. And with that being said, I want to turn it a couple ways because I want to show you that maybe you're stuck somewhere, but you don't even realize you're stuck. Or maybe you've been through some stages and you're back in that cycle of change. Because I don't know if you've really figured this out yet, but change is a cycle. Anybody ever started a weight loss journey and then you stopped a weight loss journey, and then you started the weight loss journey again, and then am I talking to anybody? Back and forth, it's like a yo-yo effect. It felt good while you was doing it, and then the sad thing is you did it for a while before you failed again. Or maybe some of you are contemplating doing something, but you ain't did it yet. So I want to talk to those people. I think one of my good friends is on here, and I'm definitely gonna slap him around a little later. But anyway, I want to make sure that we understand the stages. Okay, so stage number 1 is pre-contemplation. Stage number 2 is contemplation. Number 3 is preparation. Number 4 is action. Number 5 is maintenance. And number 6 is relapse. And I'm going to dive into all these different stages because I need you to see how at some point we are in one of those stages. Now, there might be some more that I left out purposely, only because these ones to me are very important when it comes to your business, it comes to your life, it comes to your fitness. In other words, it comes to where now even your mental wellness of realizing that in some areas, the hardest thing is the first stage, which is pre-contemplation. In other words, you don't desire to change. You think you're good. Anybody here with a bad attitude, people have told you got a bad attitude, but you told them I'm okay with my attitude because God made me this way, and this is the way I am, and I'm gonna be this way until I die, and this is just the way my face always look like this. Even though you say my face look mean, I ain't really mean. That's just the way my face look. Anybody got that story? Anyway, so it's where we feel like we're okay. Nothing's wrong with me. But the only thing that I'm challenging you on tonight is do you have what you really want? And if you don't, then maybe, just maybe, there are other areas that you have not thought about that need some change or need some adjustments. In other words, sometimes we can have no awareness or motivation for change, but we want things. Some of you want better finances. You want your business to expand and scale and grow. You want things to happen, but in order for those things to happen, you have to now realize that you have to change. I don't know about you guys, but COVID changed me in a good way. It made me look at new things, new ways. It made me become more innovative. It made me do something that I should have did years ago, which was go automated. So now I'm completely automated. We have no more physical files. And that's something that I didn't even think I need to change. I mean, maybe I thought about it, but it seemed like it was too daunting of a task. And so I said, forget it. And then I made excuses why I didn't have to do it until COVID came. And we were not in the offices and we had to get all that stuff online. So now my people could work remotely. So guys, this is something I want you to ask yourself. Are you in a stage of you really don't think you need to change, but you don't have what you really want yet? And then now my next thought is, in what areas? In what areas do you not think you need to change, but you really do want something different in those areas, but you're unwilling, or maybe just don't know that the only way to get that is to change? I want you to think about it, okay? Stage number 2, contemplation. Now is when you start thinking about, oh, I need to change. In other words, you start thinking about taking action, but you ain't quite ready to do it. Or maybe you just don't know how to go about doing it. This is an important stage because a lot of people here get stuck. And I call this the overthinking stage, to where you can overthink what you're going to do so much that you don't do anything. In other words, you think about it, you're not ready. It's like right now buying homes. This is the absolute best time on the planet to buy your house. No, it ain't. Who you been listening to? Because right now is a buyer's market to where you can get deals that you would not have gotten in a seller's market. Although interest rates are high, you don't marry the interest rate. You just date it. You marry the home, date the interest rate. Write that down. Because sometimes we don't do things because we don't know the timing of it. Some of you right now, you really need to upgrade in your living. And now is the best time to do it. Only because it's the time where the most deals are being made doing it. Well, I don't know. The market's just crazy. No, it's not. It's perfect. We got people that are buying right now. Actually, I'm selling and buying. I'm selling one to buy a multi-unit. I'm finding out in life, guys, if you don't start looking to upgrade, how will you upgrade? So I got from, that's one thing, guys, I'm gonna help you with is the action of things. Getting to that point to where now you're actually gonna do something about what you said. So contemplation, that's a stage that you have to ask yourself, have I been thinking about doing it and making reasons why I'm not ready to do it and just haven't done it yet? Okay, let's talk about that. We're gonna talk about this in our dialogue. I just wanna set the stage. Preparation, next stage. In other words, you're getting ready to take action. In other words, you're saying to yourself, I decided to change. And this can be another great stage to be in because now you're ready to do something about it. Now the key is, what do you do? And of course, what are you looking to accomplish? And most times, the only way that it happens is if you write down what you really want and then start looking at the steps to get there. I don't know if you've reverse engineered anything before. I reverse engineer my finances. I know exactly what I need to make. And then I reverse it to see what it does every month, every week, and every day. To me, that's good preparation because now you're actually knowing what you want. You got a game plan to get there and you start moving in that direction. Okay? So preparation is good, but you can't stay here. Next stage is time for some action. In other words, you start now moving forward in the thing that you said. You build momentum, you change your behavior, and sometimes you have to change your environment. Anybody on here recently had to change their environment? In other words, you had to stop being around broke people. I know being around RW is a little hard sometimes because I'm coming at you full barrel all the time. And that's only because I'm always gonna push you to action. I'm gonna push you to results. I'm gonna push you to doing the thing that you said you was gonna do. I'm not gonna push you to do things you don't wanna do, just what you say you're gonna do. Also, how many have found out you had to modify your behavior? Some of you, I'm just saying, some work on that behavior because some of that behavior is who you used to be and not who you are right now. Because you can get stuck in the old you and wondering why the new you is struggling. Because sometimes even negotiation, how do you negotiate the deal? How do you put things in perspective to make sure you can start moving forward in that what you said? You have to start making the actual changes to build momentum, change your behavior, your environment, and then start doing what's needed to get the job done. That's action stage. All right? Next stage is maintenance. In other words, a lot of you are here. A lot of us are here. You get to a point that we're actually doing it. Now the key is you've been doing it for a month. You did it for 2 months. You did it for 3 months. Like right now, I've stopped drinking coffee. I know many of you are in shock. I am too. Was the coffeeest, drinkingest person you would know, but I haven't drank coffee this year. Now, not to say I'm not going to drink coffee, but I made a decision that I wanted to get down to 178. So I started cutting everything that had sugar, had some stuff in it, in order to move towards that goal, which I am now 9 pounds away from. Only because I made adjustments. I've already lost 15 pounds. I'm 9 pounds away. And so now it's a matter of now making those adjustments in that mode of maintaining what you've already got and building upon it. In other words, getting committed to what you said you're going to do and going past the phase where most people quit. I've heard it saying that usually after, it takes 21 days to establish a habit, but then after you establish that habit, it's a matter of maintaining that thing as you keep going. Anybody in here have problems maintaining what they start? I've heard this old saying that anybody can have something, but the question is, can you keep it? Anybody can buy a Bentley. The question is, can you afford the maintenance on that joint? I'm just saying. Mercedes, every time I go in, it seems like they want $1,000. I'm like, really? Everything is $1,000? So it makes a big difference because anybody can get it, but the key is, can you maintain the thing that you're going after and you're presenting? Now, here's the one that most people don't want to talk about. Last stage, and we're going to talk about it. Relapse. In other words, you go back in the cycle of change again. In other words, now you've done the thing, made it work, but you end up finding yourself back. Anybody been doing the right things and all of a sudden it stopped working or seemingly stopped working? And it really wasn't that the thing you did stopped working, is that you stopped working and doing the same thing you were doing? Many of us it's easy to get started, but I'm always going to be after the finish. You got to finish what you started. I made a decision to open another campus a year and a half ago. As of this Sunday, that new campus is open. And so I tell guys that story only because I want you to realize that once you commit to what you say, the time that lapses between that, it doesn't matter as long as you stay the course to get there. Okay? So relapses happen, setbacks, circumstances beyond control, death, drama, sickness, all this stuff can happen, and it will happen. But now the question is relapsing back to the starting point, which is now you pre-contemplating again. And then you in contemplation. And then you start, in other words, you start revisiting all these cycles again to get to an end point. Okay? So now I talked about all that. So now us to talk about this. Let me stop my chair. All right. So now when it comes down to it, who in here can say that they're stuck in one stage or another? This is my transparency moment for a lot of you guys. Where are you stuck at when it comes to your dream, vision, and business? Where are you stuck at? Let me pull them back up so some of y'all looking at me funny. Oops, not that one. There it is. All right. Dr. Kathy, what you got?
I would say for me, it would be, which one was that? Overthinking, pre-contemplation? Is that what it was? The one that's overthinking?
Well, contemplation.
Yeah, contemplation. Yeah, overthinking.
And why do you think, is that something that you see in just the different areas of your life, or how has that played a factor for you?
Oh, it's real simple. I'm a perfectionist.
That's good.
Yeah, so it has to be perfect. You know, it has to be just right. It just I can't just do anything. So it has to be, you know, because I have the spirit of excellence.
Mm-hmm.
it kind of gets me stuck in areas when I need to just let go because nothing's perfect, right? So I think that's one of my biggest my biggest challenges. Just let it, hey, it's better to put something out there than put nothing out there. Because I mean, I think I heard you say, and I'm gonna get this wrong because I haven't heard it in a while, but a half of something is better than, would you say 95, 75% is better than 100 or something like that? Yeah. So that's my biggest vice.
Yeah, and actually, to be honest, I believe that that's good. You know, in the aspect of you want things to be right, and I believe that that's what we want. But with anything that I've ever tried or started, it never started the way I wanted to. Not exactly. Like once again, full transparency. I'm starting a new campus. I don't know how it's going to turn out. Only thing I know is I'm being obedient, and I just so happen to have a great group of people that are excited about it, and they're going to do the work. Now, how's it going to turn out? I don't know. I believe God's going to do a great work. But the same token, if I never step into it, how will I know? And so in those areas, it's hard because we're people of faith, but now it's a matter of actually launching out and doing the thing. And it might not look like what we want to look like, but the question is always back to what he wants it to look like, if I can use that terminology, versus what we think it should look like. You know, so for you, I think you want to keep that perfection mindset, but just remember that perfection can hinder process or progress. An aspect of now turning that excellence into a building block to where I know it's going to start here, but my goal is to get it perfect or excellent, but start here and then move towards that direction. And I think as long as you in your mind can see it getting to where you want it, then it's easier for you to jump out there and get going. Yeah, because even being a filmmaker, I know, and I got another filmmaker on there too, Sister Kim. I think I see how she jumped on. She's a filmmaker too. You know, y'all need to connect. I mean, y'all have to do some things. But it's to where now with two filmmakers connecting, that now helps too, because I'm sure you guys are your biggest critics. You're gonna watch it 50 million times before you release it. Matter of fact, I got Kim on here. Kim, you still here?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm on. I jumped on, and I'm in the process of casting a full SAG feature film as we speak. We'll be shooting in Las Vegas, April the 3rd through the 27th, and it's starring Mel Gibson and 50 Cent. So I have to cast 20 main roles, principal roles. So that looks crazy. I'm listening to what you're saying about the stages of change, and mine is full transparency. When you do a lot of things, it's, you know, you just get pulled in so many different directions because I know what I want to do. But then when they come calling and say, Kim, here's a major, this, oh, no problem. They said, can you do it? And I was like, yes, I can do it. And I jumped into do it mode and put that hat on. So that's my, yeah, I don't know if that made sense to anybody. It's a blessing. And I'm so super duper grateful. But to get back to my main thing, it's just all a part of who I am and what I do. So I don't know if that it made sense.
Actually, it does an aspect of change, because right there, you know that there's change needed. Now it's a matter of actually making the change.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the hard part, guys. We can talk about change until we actually have to do it. Let me use an example. I used to go to people's homes. I used to go and do stuff after hours and be at people. I made a decision that I wasn't doing that no more. Anybody want to see me, they got to see me at the office. Now, it didn't start out like, oh, people were beating down my door. But I stuck with it to the point to where it then became what I wanted it to become, because I changed. I feel more confident in my office than I do going to somebody's house. When they walk in my office, that means that you came to see me. I didn't come to see you. So it puts me in a position of power. And I don't care what nobody says. Everybody on this screen, you all looking for a place of power in a position that you're in. If you didn't, you wouldn't be an entrepreneur, because the entrepreneur wants to be in control of their destiny. In other words, you want to be the one that can make sure it goes the way you want to go. And that's okay. Okay. Let me make that okay for some of you guys, because some of you guys are like, well, no, I really, I'm okay being second. No, you need to be in charge. You need to be the CEO. You need to be the one that everybody comes to, because that way now the business will grow and blossom because you're in charge. But that requires change. And that change means that now you got to go from being who you were to who you're becoming, to now to do the things that you know you should be doing already. So for you, Kim, it's just a matter now looking at it. And I would recommend writing down what you know you want to do. And anything that comes to you that's not that, you have to say no. Or do like I do, make it another stream of income and find somebody else that does it and take a percentage off the top and then pass it on.
That's
What did
great.
you say?
That's great advice. And that's exactly what I am doing. I am working with two young ladies that are my clients out of LA. And I'm here casting, and they're there doing all the background paperwork and everything. And I just didn't want to turn this opportunity down because it's relationships with major studios for future. So I just have to work that muscle. And you're right, getting someone else, I can't do it all. However, having a team, and so now I'll have that casting arm in place that I didn't know existed before. I just been helping people all these years. Now I'm set up under Flowers Filmwork. Oh, guess what? It's casting at flowersfilmworks.com for my casting side. I didn't dream of doing it. It just morphed into that, as well as Flowers Filmworks that makes movies that matter. So I'm doing what you are doing. I'm following suit, creating other streams of income.
Excellent. And that's within what you're already doing. And that's the beauty of it, guys. You want to create those streams of income, but that's change. Changing the way you think. That here's the one thing that will mess up any entrepreneur. I've got to do it. I've got to, if I don't do it, it don't get done. And like Dr. K just said earlier, I'd rather have somebody do it that's 75% as good as me, and then me come back and check over it. I don't know about you guys, but it's easier for me to look over something that's already done. It's easier than me to have to create it myself, because then I have to put my mind into it, my thoughts into it, but that takes change. That takes it going from, okay, I know there's something I need to do, but now the next question is not how, but who? Who can do that? I had a guy call me the other day for health insurance. I don't do health insurance. I'm licensed for health insurance, but I found someone that does health insurance, and guess what I did? I passed them on with a 25% fee attached to the top of it. So the client still got serviced, but I got paid in the process. Because remember this, guys, and write this down. Your name is great. Your name is being spoken in rooms that you have no idea. So some people are just feasting off your name. And the sad thing, when people get paid more for your name than you do. I have a book writer. She actually wrote a book. She put the book on for $9.99. Somebody else took that same book and reposted it for $19.99. She sent me a stream, and her name is Dr. K too, Dr. Karen Combs. And she sent me a screenshot. She said, Coach, somebody else is selling my book for $10 more than I'm selling it. I said, that's because they see the value. I said, the problem is you haven't seen the value in it yet, but other people do. And so now they're going to take the value and they're going to use your name to get value off of something that they didn't write. And the good news is, of course, they got to buy it. So you get your $10, but they get $10 just for pushing your product out. How you feel about that? So in other words, use your name, because people are calling to speak to you. People are calling to talk to Robbie, but Robbie might not be able to do that thing. So she might say, well, you know what? Hold on one second. Let me get your information and I'm going to get you taken care of. And then somebody else calls her. Hey, I work with Robbie. I'm going to take care of you in this area. But Robbie just made 25%. Are you guys seeing the picture here? To where now you can start developing yourself, but you have to change. You have to change your mentality of you having to be the one to do it. Why should you do and become all things to all people? Okay? Get to a point now that you change. You realize that there's a need for change. So guys, remember, we're still on the stages. So this is really pre-contemplation. I don't know if I need to change, but I don't think I need to change. But I'm telling you, in the area of you thinking you have to do it, yes, you need to change. Because in that area, you are thinking too small, and your business, your income will never increase to the level it needs to. I know for me, once I hit my first 100,000, I could probably do that by myself. But in order to hit 3, 4, 5, and 600,000, I had to hire people. There was no way around it. There's no way I could do it. There's no way. But in order to see that growth, you got to move to that dimension. Like even right now, you're watching me and my digital girl is sending stuff out. I'm not sending it out, she is. But I'm paying her to do it, but she's doing the work. Okay? But I had to change my mindset to where I didn't have to go and try to figure out. Any of you guys, write this real quick. Are you trying to figure out how to do stuff and spending time trying to figure out stuff that you shouldn't be trying to figure out at this point? I'm trying to figure out how to take this and make this work. And I'm gonna take a class. That's what I'm gonna do. Some of y'all are so class happy. Every time something pops up that you don't know, I'm gonna take a class. Really? At some point, you just ask yourself, who do I know that's already doing it that I can pay to do what I shouldn't be doing anymore? That's change. But sometimes if you don't know you need to change, you won't change. All right. I saw somebody else put some other stuff in the chat. Hold on one second. Let me go to the chat. I see him in chat up here. All right. Let's see. Relapse and a bit of contemplation. All right. Who deals with relapse here? All of us. I think at some point we all relapse. We go to a certain point and we do really good. And then we almost like forget everything we did to get to where we're at. And then we have to end up starting the cycle over again. What if you kept that momentum going from your last win and you kept that same momentum going versus shifting gears and trying to make adjustments? Or here's the enemy for a lot of CEOs that I deal with is something is going really good. You take your focus off of it and start looking at something else. And then you lose focus on what was working. And now the other thing that was working stops working because you went chasing another thing that's working. Who has that problem on the screen? Come on, tell me the truth. Shame the devil. Who has a problem chasing the shiny thing? The shiny thing, the thing that looks good, but it ain't what you should be doing. People come to me with ideas all the time. Hey, I think we should do this. I said, man, that sounds great. It's going to be a winner, but I'm not doing it. The one thing you don't do to me right now is bring me another job. I'm not doing no more work. Okay. So with that being said, how do you not relapse to try to do it all again? Like some of you right now, how many are back in the place of you doing it again? Come on, tell the truth. Raise your hand. You're back in the place of you doing the work again. Yeah. How's that feel? How's that feel? Okay, I don't see a lot of hands there. I feel like this crowd is really tough tonight. Change is a big thing, guys. I'm telling you, it makes you now process, what am I fighting in trying not to change? In other words, right now, real quick in my chat, who has something that they can be transparent about to say they're fighting to change? They know it needs to be changed, but they really don't want to change, but they know it needs to change. What's that thing? Let me help somebody tonight for real though. This is results driven. Come on, help me help you. I'll wait. Okay. So when it comes down to
Good one.
go ahead, go for it.
Being transparent in our loving community. I need to lose some weight, like for real.
No.
And in my effort to think that I was losing weight, I gained 10 pounds. And that is really bad. I have a gym membership. I know how to walk around the corner. I have several pairs of tennis shoes to choose from. But I just I look at those things and I say, nope, not gonna do that.
That's good. You know what? We happen to have a personal trainer on here who I'm sure has something to say about that. Deshaun, are you with us? I know you on the phones too.
I am with us.
How can we make that adjustment? Guys, here's where I hate this guy when we go to the gym. He told me you cannot outrun a bad diet. And I just after all this time, really for real, changed my diet this year. And guess what I'm getting? Results. I've been fighting against the one thing that I needed for results, which was the diet. It wasn't the workout. But Deshaun, help her out. How do we stay committed to that? How do we change how we see that?
Yeah, so there's a few components that we could talk about. First and foremost, let's talk about the power of the decision. So there's power in our decision, but we've given that power away over time. And that has to do with the integrity, point blank, with integrity. I'm sure that all of us here have integrity when it comes to other people. We tell somebody we're going to be there for them, we're going to show up to this event to support them or this or that. We're going to follow through. We're going to be there. Might be 10, 15 minutes late, but we there. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to ourselves, how many times have we told ourselves that we're going to do something, that we're going to start something, that we're going to go somewhere, but we don't follow through on our commitment to ourselves? And over time, how do you feel towards somebody who continues to lie to you? You lose trust in them, right? You lose faith in them. So over time, this is almost what happens to ourselves because we continue to go back on our word to ourselves, right? So as we make that decision and give it power back, the more that we stick to our commitment to ourselves, the more that you'll see your self-worth, your self-value, and even your self-confidence grow over time. And not only because of the physical results of our consistency, the positive changes, the weight loss, the body changes, but also because of, where we now can trust ourselves again. Our word really means something again, So there's power in that, power in the decision. And then on the other side, it's almost like somebody who's addicted to something, right? Instead of going cold turkey, they might wean off of it or something like that. So it's the vice versa, right? So you can start small. You don't have to start with like, I'm doing everything. Like I'm doing cardio 8 days a week. I'm training 2 times a day and I'm eating three celery sticks, you know what I'm saying? And some chicken breasts with no salt on it. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't got to do all that, but you got to start somewhere, right? So make a small commitment, one that you know that you can realistically keep, but is moving you in the forward of your goal, in the direction of your goals. And if you stay true to that small, consistent over time, you're building up tiny wins. You know what I'm saying? And you rack up enough of these tiny wins. Let's say you decide I'm going to take 3 walks every week. And I don't know, maybe I'm going to eat more vegetables. That might look like I'm going to eat 2 cups of vegetables a day and go on 3 walks a week. If you continue to hit that marker every single week, you're racking up wins. And then after a couple of weeks of that, you could say, hey, you know what? I'm doing really good with this. Let me increase the length of my walks, or let me add an extra session, or let me do this, So start small, rack up the wins, and then add to it, and know that there's power in your word. And as you continue to follow through on that commitment to you, you'll see growth on the inside and the outside.
Wow, that's powerful. And just so I can have full transparency in that, what he's talking about, he told me I wasn't eating enough food. I was like, I'm not eating all that food you're trying to make me eat. I can't eat that. I just don't eat like that. I don't eat like that. And so I fought him on what was the deciding and changing factor for my whole life when it came to my weight loss. And it's crazy with change. We think we know, and we are completely wrong. I started now I eat 3 meals a day, 2 snacks, and I've lost more weight in the last 3 months than I probably lost in 15 years, only because I started doing what he said to do. I fought him on it though, because we fight change. Anybody in here besides me, you fight change because you know better? And nothing worse to me than somebody that's broke trying to tell somebody with money that, no, that ain't the way to do it. It's like, really? That's what we're doing? So guys, this is important that we realize that when it comes to change, and this goes back to pre-contemplation, we don't think we need to change. I don't need to change. I'm good. What are you talking about? I love to work out. I'm running all these miles, and I was doing all that stuff, but there was no results on the scale, or little results, until I did what he said. And then now I'm doing it, and I'm seeing the results. Isn't that how life works when it comes to change? We fight it until we actually find out if we do it, it works. Sometimes you just got to follow success. They say success leaves clues. So follow the clues, follow the steps. All right. So here's a question. What's a barrier for you for change? I'm going to hit some of you guys up. All right, Robbie, what's a barrier to change? What makes you not want to change? What's your hard part of change for you?
Like you said, just making a decision, I think, is the initial decision. I think that's what it is, the initial decision. That's the barrier.
Okay. And so now once you make a decision, where do you go from there?
Where do I go from there? Are you talking about your stages, or are you just talking about in general? I mean, because what I know is change is gonna happen. You can either hop on with it or you can fight it, but it's gonna happen regardless. So it just makes it easier if you just hop on the train with the change, because change is gonna happen.
Good. One thing I want you to write down, if you would, is intentional. Change has to be intentional. Because if we don't intend to change, we won't change. Case in point, I intentionally have date night with my wife. I intentionally make sure I make time for her. I intentionally make sure that we do things together because I'm busy. She's busy. We're all busy. But I knew that in order for our relationship to keep getting better, I had to intentionally make sure that I'm changing my mindset about it in the aspect of knowing that some things are not just a want to, some things are I got to in order to get what I want to have. Because even when it becomes relationships, I mean, no, you can't get a better relationship without being intentional about that relationship. And that be whatever that relationship is. Okay. So change is really, really, really key. So I like that. Good job. Good thought right there. Tony, what do you think when it comes to barriers to change? What are some good barriers to change? I know you got a few that you can teach us on.
Talking to me, Pastor Ron?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Good barriers of change, first of all, is consistency. Well, let me retract. A plan has to be in place first. And that plan, I think far too often, I preached about this on Sunday, far too often we have a plan, but we never speak it. We may think it, but the plan cannot live until it's spoken to. Because when you speak to the plan, that's what brings it alive. And then you begin to work it, put everything into place. I think what has happened over the years for me and I see a lot of people, they have a plan that they thought about, but they never spoke about how successful the plan is going to be. You said it from the stages, and you're right. When you're at $100,000 a year, then you move up, you realize that you can't do it. So you have to say to yourself, I have to find some other people that can help me get to that next stage. You can go out and find those people, but if you don't speak it and verbalize it, it doesn't give you the mindset on which individual you need to find in order to help you to be successful. So I said, first of all, to speak to it, have the consistency, and then make sure that the plan is together. Speak, plan, and consistency, I would say.
Excellent, man. That's good stuff right there. That's really good stuff right there, because ultimately, and it's so funny that you mentioned that, because that's how everything for me processes. I speak it, then I have to write it down, and then I have to know what I want. You know, I guess I walk in a place like you do. I know, being a visionary, that you know what you want. Now it's just a matter of putting the pieces in place to move it forward. So,
Pastor Ron, if I could say this too, from the time I met you and your wife at that table with Ron Thomas and the bishop, one thing I can say is that you have been consistent. Whatever you said, boom. And I call you, be like, oh man, that's done. I'm on this, the next project, this, the next one. And you've been consistent, but you said it, but the consistency, and then you put the plan together. And we've had some conversations these last few months where you and I've talked. You said this, I'm consistent. If I said I'm going to do it. And then you said, this is the plan.
yeah, and I appreciate that, because my intent is, and I go back to what my son was saying, is, and to me, it's integrity, to where when you say something, you want to be able to make sure you do that what you say, and the integrity lies within ourselves first. And so when I make decisions to myself, I just really feel strongly that I can't lie to me. I can't lie to me. If I say I'm going to do something, I cannot lie to me, because if I lie to me, it's easy to lie to people. And so I do start with things that I see, Pastor Tony, what you just said, exactly me. And then once I see it, I put a plan in place. And then for me, it's not a time frame of like how long it's going to take. It's more important that I look at the finish.
Right.
And then I'll get a timetable in there. But even if I blow the timetable, I'll push the timetable out still with the same plan to keep the momentum going to get to where I'm trying to go anyway. Like this month on my goal sheet, I had that I would have a 32 unit apartment complex by the end of this month. Right now, I've been looking. I haven't found the deal I want yet. So now I could, in the next 10 days, find the right deal, but I might not. But that happens. So what I'll do is I'll push it to the next quarter. But I'm not stopping doing the thing I was doing to look for it. I'm still in the same process. I'm in hot pursuit. Right now, I believe, and just for you guys, I am all gas, no brakes right now. Everything I'm looking to do, I'm going after. And I'm not going after it personally. I'm putting people in position and places to empower them to go get done the things that I want to get done. Guys, I want to say this, and some of you to take it the wrong way, but I want you to hear it anyway. Find people that fit within your vision. Within your vision. So when you're looking, I get what people are trying to do, but make sure everything you're doing is lining to what you want. So in other words, like right now I'm working on, I got a person, I got a mind for something I'm working on, but they have to fit within what I'm trying to do. If they don't, then I'm not going to use them and I'm going to move on. And so I'm selfish in the aspect that it's got to be beneficial for what I'm trying to accomplish. If it's not, then it's a waste of time. We talked about this 2 sessions ago about relationships. Be careful of the relationships you have and why you have them. Because to me in life, you need people that can help you fulfill what you're trying to accomplish. You just can't do it by yourself, okay? This is good stuff, guys. I really want to dive to a little bit into what are the benefits of change. Look at the other side of it. Sade, what's the benefits of change? That's Tony, thank you, man. I could coach with you all day long, man. We can get in here and really help some people out. Nope, Sade might be at work. Nope, she's at work. Okay, T, what'd you get, man? T, what's the benefit of change that you know you need to do? What's the benefit side of it? Man, you're looking cool, man. What you doing, man? You at the club?
Oh, no. I'm not at the club. No, sir. I'm in the studio right now. You can hear me well, though?
I can hear you good.
Okay. One thing that I'm working on changing and I need to change that's going to benefit me is having a cool down time, like at the end of the day where like I review my journal and stuff and prepare for bed, trying to have like a structure time of going to sleep so I could get up at a good convenient time, because I know me being young, sleep is like, a necessary thing. So that's something that I be fighting against because I be wanting to go gadget all the time, but I'm trying to keep that in structure.
Perfect. Well, sounds like the good news is, and the reason I brought the benefit word up is because if you know there's a benefit to it, now reverse engineer it. What needs to happen to get that benefit? What needs to happen to get that benefit? Like for me, I stopped eating meat. I sleep like a baby now. Now, I'm not saying anything about meat. I'm just saying I found what works for my body. My body now works more efficiently and effectively without meat. Nothing wrong with meat. Let me make sure I'm clear on that. But what I'm finding out with change is sometimes it's almost like, let me give an example. Anybody here eat pizza? But how many know if you eat pizza, you're going to get to where your stomach hurting, you jacked up because all that stuff that's within the pizza just ain't good for you. But you still eat it anyway. Why? It's almost like if you want premium performance, you don't put regular unleaded in something you want premium performance to. So if your body requires premium performance, and for you, whatever that looks like, you have to find that thing and then go into it. Because I focus more on a bit. Right now, I nothing wrong with meat, but I would never go back to meat personally because I like sleep now. And for me, that was the benefit. And with sleep, I got clarity. And with clarity, I'm now so focused to where now it's like I'm clicking on all cylinders. But once again, I had to make that change. So, but I had to look at the benefit of the change. So once you find and focus on the benefit, then the change itself, believe it or not, it's not as hard because you're more focused on the benefit than the agony of the change. It's just like running that half marathon. I couldn't think about the agony of running the half marathon. I thought about the benefit of adding another medal to my collection, and to be completely honest, bragging rights to myself to say you did that. You pushed yourself beyond yourself to do something that the average person won't do. And some of you guys, you got to realize that you have to be that person. You're competitive. You just haven't pulled out that competitive gene yet, again. And some of you, I'm trying to pull it out of you because I know I'm very competitive. And all you guys are CEOs, leaders, and you should be competitive because if you're competitive, your people will be. Okay, good stuff, guys. But other than that, guys, any other comments on tonight? I want to wrap this up. I know it's 7:03, go past my time. I know this change thing can go very deep and very wide, but I kind of want you to just to get in the thought process of realizing that you got to make some adjustments in order to get to where you're going. Real quick, last segment, we have about 3 minutes. Ask RW. So right now, questions. Anybody have a question on their business or a thought or a proposal that they want to run past me real quick and see if I can help you make some money? Everybody good? All right. Well, I want to make sure I give that. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was saying good so far. It just sharpening the saw, keep on applying what I learned so far from you. And if I come across a problem, but as of yet, no, I know I need to do though.
Okay, perfect. Well, let me know if you guys do. One big thing I want you guys to all consider before we leave as a change component or something to push you to change, start asking yourself, if I'm not where I want to be, what do I need to change? The hard question. And whether that be your attitude, your disposition, your health, your mental wellness, whatever that would be, if you have not arrived, and here's something that I say, I'm always chasing the next best version of myself daily. I want to be a better husband, better father, better coach, better leader, better pastor, better CEO. But in order to do that, I realize that I have not arrived and I yet have learning to do. So change is an intricate part to get to that next level. So don't fight the one thing that will help you shift and become what you need to be. Of course, guys, don't go it alone. I'm here to help. I'm here to help you with not only this, but also with other areas where we work in. Of course, insurance, investments, home buying, mortgages, estate planning. We do all those things, but I don't do it all. I have a great team. The good news is we're able to help you. So it's not just about getting and hearing about stuff. It's about actually getting this stuff done. Of course, you're on our Thursday coaching call. Some of you for the very first time. Some of you have been with me for a while. Some of you are watching me on some other outlets. Just know that you get an opportunity to be a part of this network where we're growing and becoming even better every single day. Right now, some of you, it's time for you to get into the session. We need a strategy session. I'm doing a special right now for $225. And with that, I'm bringing you a goal plan sheet for 3 months. And I'm going to show you how to set yourself in a direction for the next quarter. We're coming up on the end of quarter number 1. You might need to make a session with me to get you going to quarter number 2, because I don't want you to relapse and become what you don't want to be. Many of my clients now are doing my one-on-one. My one-on-one is one of the best ways that I can help you. And that's where you get me every single week for an hour to discuss your personal goals and vision and put you in position to now make those things happen. Many of you have already taken advantage of that. I know you can recommend others to do the same. And if you're starting a new business, zero to new business. I actually have a plan that we can help you get everything you need in one shot, one investment, and we're here to help you get there, get further, faster. Other than that, guys, I appreciate you being on tonight. I appreciate your time. It's so valuable. You are amazing. Remember, become the change that you want to see. I think Gandhi said that. Pretty powerful thing. Stay focused and realizing that in order to get to where you're going, you can't stay who you are. That's a bar right there. All right, guys, take care. Enjoy your night. Thanks for being on. We'll see you real soon. God bless you guys. Be great.